When Earth fell, the galaxy did not notice. It was not cruelty, it was indifference. Empires rose and collapsed every century in the Orion Arm. Species burned, worlds cracked, civilizations erased, usually quietly, usually without consequence. Humanity was young by galactic standards, loud but unremarkable, a single-system species with grand speeches and fragile fleets. When the Virex Dominion arrived, no council convened, no warning was issued. Earth burned in less than a day. Orbital defenses failed in 6 minutes, the planetary shield collapsed in 12. Cities vanished beneath precision bombardments so clean it almost looked merciful from space. Billions died without ever knowing why. By nightfall, Earth was officially listed as neutralized territory. Humanity was declared extinct. They were wrong. Lieutenant Elias Rourke did not survive because he was special. He survived because he was late. Late to his post, late to the evacuation order, late enough that when the final Virex strike shattered the orbital dock above Earth, his transport was still tethered, still shielded by a fragmenting debris field. Late enough to live. The blast flung his ship into deep space, its navigation crippled, its crew dead. Rourke woke alone, surrounded by silence and drifting wreckage. And one object strapped beside his crash couch. A folded banner. The flag of Earth. White starburst on deep blue, 32 points for the colonies that never had a chance to matter. The fabric was scorched at the edges, but intact. Rourke stared at it for a long time. Then he cried. Not loudly, not dramatically. Just enough to remind himself he was still human. Weeks passed, then months. Rourke learned quickly that extinction came with paperwork. Every station he limped into refused him docking rights, his species code returned null, his homeworld status read decommissioned. To the galaxy, he was a ghost. Some pitied him, most ignored him, a few tried to kill him. Humans were technically classified as unregistered biological material, and bounty laws were flexible. Rourke adapted. He traded stories for fuel, fixed engines in exchange for food, slept in cargo bays and maintenance shafts. Everywhere he went, he heard the same thing. The Virex are unstoppable. Resistance is pointless. Survival means submission. Rourke listened. And remembered Earth. It happened on Khaled Station, a mining outpost under Dominion control. Rourke wasn't looking for trouble, he was looking for water. Instead, he found Virex soldiers dragging a group of civilians into the open concourse, miners, traders, children, a punishment demonstration, public compliance enforcement. Rourke saw the fear in their eyes. He remembered cities burning. Something inside him snapped. He didn't have a fleet, he didn't have allies. But he had a rifle salvaged from a wreck. And he had a flag. Rourke stepped onto the concourse balcony, unfolded the banner, and tied it to a broken railing where everyone could see. Then he fired. Not wildly, precisely. He didn't win, he didn't need to. By the time station security overwhelmed him, 3 Virex officers were dead, the civilians had escaped, and the banner still waved burned, torn, but defiant. The miners never forgot it. Neither did the cameras. Footage spread. Quietly at first, whisper networks, black market relays, resistance channels hidden beneath trade data. Unknown human defies Dominion. Last survivor of Earth fights back. The flag still flies. Rourke was imprisoned, interrogated, beaten. The Virex demanded to know where the rest of humanity was hiding. Rourke laughed. Everywhere you fear, he said. They didn't understand. The escape was not heroic. It was desperate. A power failure, an overworked guard, a stolen access card. Rourke ran through maintenance tunnels with alarms screaming behind him, clutching the folded flag under his arm like a lifeline. He stole a ship barely capable of atmospheric flight and vanished into uncharted space. The Dominion marked him high-risk anomaly. The Resistance gave him a name. The Beacon. Rourke didn't fight battles anymore. He did something far more dangerous. He reminded the galaxy what humans were. On ruined worlds, he repaired water systems. On occupied stations, he sabotaged surveillance. In hidden enclaves, he taught civilians how humans fought fast, adaptive, stubborn beyond reason. Always, wherever he went, the flag appeared. Sometimes draped over a barricade. sometimes painted on walls, sometimes projected in hologram across the stars. Species that had never heard of Earth began to whisper its name with awe. They lost everything, one rebel leader said. And still they fight? Rourke nodded. That's what makes us human. The Virex Dominion made a mistake. They declared Rourke's capture a priority. Entire fleets diverted, resources strained, occupation forces weakened elsewhere. Resistance cells rose. Then worlds. Then systems. All rallied around a simple idea. If one human can stand alone against an empire, what can we do together? It ended where it began. Above Earth. The Virex had turned the planet into a trophy, a shattered monument to domination. They didn't expect anyone to come back. Rourke arrived with a fleet of mismatched ships, former slaves, broken species, civilizations that had nothing left to lose. The battle was chaos. Ships burned, space screamed, the Dominion fought with ruthless efficiency. But the Resistance fought with something else. Purpose. Rourke's ship took critical damage, hull breaches, fire, no escape vector. He took the flag from its case and wrapped it around his shoulders. Then he opened a channel to every frequency. "This is Lieutenant Elias Rourke of Earth," he said calmly. "We are still here." He rammed his ship into the Dominion flagship's core. The explosion lit the void. The Dominion fractured without its command fleet. Earth remained broken. But humanity was no longer gone. On liberated worlds, monuments rose not to Earth's cities, but to its spirit. A single flag, etched in stone. They said Rourke died that day. But sometimes, in the darkest corners of occupied space, a banner appears. Waving. Waiting. Children of a dozen species now learn a human word in school. Defiance. They are taught its meaning with a story. Of a species that lost its world. Of a man who carried a flag instead of a crown. Of how one survivor became a beacon and proved that resistance only needs one spark. Because humanity was never just a planet. It was an idea. And ideas do not die.